This right here is the base model Lucid Air Pure, an amazing electric vehicle that is known to be a Tesla competitor. And I'm not even gonna lie, my experience with this car was amazing. But is this car really as good as a Tesla or better than a Tesla? So in this video we're gonna see what this car is all about. So stepping into this car, I fell in love with everything already. Like the aesthetics, the steering wheel, the technology, everything looks futuristic and luxurious. Now in terms of space, my friend and I are both 6 foot tall and there was still enough room for we both, even though I was sitting right behind him while he was driving. With a seating capacity of 5, this is a car that you and your family would enjoy for that road trip without any discomfort. This car is also packed with enough space for storage. You get a hidden storage space behind this screen that you could easily just tilt back to store things like your sunglasses or anything of your choice. I think this is a very cool feature because it makes the car look clean when you retract the screen back to cover everything. Between the 2 front seats, there's also a hidden storage for 2 cup holders and wireless charger for up to 2 phones, which is definitely clutch. And right behind that, you also get a storage under the armrest, and I just love how all this storage are hidden. Moving on to the back seats, we got this convertible armrest that includes 2 cup holders and another storage space. In addition to that, you could also access the trunk through a mini door, which is also clutch. Speaking about the trunk, the Lucid Air Pure has a very massive trunk, which is like an SUV level space. And even when you feel like you don't have enough room, you can also extend the trunk to the back seat to fit large items. In addition to that, there's also an extra hidden space underneath. The Lucid Air Pure also has a massively big front space, which also has an extra compartment underneath. At this point, this car is looking like a storage powerhouse, and I'm not gonna lie, we love to see that. Now in terms of software, it does a good job in letting users have a solid control over the car. However, this is where I think it would have to put more work in to outmatch a Tesla and yeah, the speed as well. On the MKBHD review of this car, he pointed out that the Lucid Air doesn't support Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. But at the time I tested this car out, which was after his review, they had updated the software and it included Apple CarPlay, which is one of the advantages of software updates. They also included Android Auto and other cool apps like Spotify and Alexa for virtual assistants. In terms of UI, it's quite fast and responsive. The driver's seat adjustment of this bad boy is so insane, bro. You could easily adjust the seat and steering wheel to your preference no matter how big or how small you are. Of course, with a few exceptions. If you own this car, you can also program it to auto adjust the seat and steering wheel specifically for you as soon as you step into the car, and it does this through face recognition, which is insane. You also get the flexible temperature control for the driver and passenger seats individually. In addition to that, there is also a mini screen for the passengers at the back to make these adjustments as preferred.
To be honest, the steering wheel is, I'm not gonna lie, I wish you could test it, bro. Like, this is better than the Tesla. Like in terms of
like
the
it's smooth or what?
It's smooth.
It just feels like tighter, so it's like
I don't know. It's just I don't know. Especially since I was able to like adjust it to like my preference. It's just like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like yeah, I could just see it.
And the nice thing is that with all of the adjustment, let's say if you have multiple people, like you have a family member that drives the car occasionally, with all of that camera that can then recognize you and set your preferences. Every time whoever normally drives the car gets in, it just automatically loads their preferences, which is nice. This one's essentially a fully loaded Air Pure. So it does have our upgraded audio system, which is Surreal Sound Pro. So it's got 21 speakers and is Dolby Atmos compatible, so it's that spatially aware audio. And then it does have that Dream Drive setting on there as well, so on highways it's...
So let's talk about my driving experience with this car. If you've ever driven a Tesla before, it's pretty much the same thing. You don't have to hit on the brake. As soon as you lift your foot off the gas, the car starts to slow down. This is known as Regen braking, and the good thing is Regen braking recaptures energy and feeds it back to the battery. In other words, recharging the car. However, you could enable creep in the settings, which allows the car to keep moving slowly if you don't step on the brakes. But that doesn't fully disable the Regen braking.
Change how strong it is, but yeah, you can't fully disable it on the car. The only time it's really disabled is if the car's at 100% charge, because then the point of regen braking is to recapture energy. But if you're at 100% charge, you don't need to recapture anything. But yeah, there's not like a full disable for it. It's just how strong you want it. And then I move the regen to high.
No, I like the brake. I like how I could hit on the brake. I mean, it depends. Like, I don't know, if you're feeling lazy, you don't want to hit the brake.
Yep. Kind of depends on your feeling that day.
Yeah.
What we can do that's actually also fun is this next exit that's coming up, it's kind of like a right turn into like an immediate left turn, so it's like an S. So we can do this next exit.
Speed limit around here.
So this all should preload them. You use the cameras on the vehicle to see them.
Well,
Yeah, let's
One thing I really appreciate as a person behind the wheel is the amount of information you get on the dash while driving. You get to know the real-time speed limits, how fast you are moving, the distance since your last charge, your average pace, and your current driving mode. You can see all these while paying attention on the road, which I think is safer than a Tesla, which only has a screen on the side. In terms of speed, this car is really fast. For this base model, it has up to 480 horsepower and can go from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. So the Lucid Air has 3 driving modes. It has a smooth mode, a swift mode, and then a sprint mode. So the smooth mode is just like an everyday EV drive with full regen braking, but the swift mode feels a little sporty and dynamic, which means you're basically doing most of the driving with lesser road assist from the car. For example, the regen braking is reduced and you are mostly in control of the car as a pilot.
You can see how in the Swift though it is still that brake pedal, so this one is the 2 pedal.
And I'm hitting the brake, but it's like it's just like I'm having the experience of hitting the brake but not really applying pressure.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Just kind of
it's
fade,
almost
like
as
just
if it's
kind of
like
feathering it.
Yeah, and then it stops.
Driving straight, I'll show you here, even if you go in a Swift. So the throttle now, if you press it probably feels a little bit different, feels a little bit lighter now. So that's my personal favorite part about Swift, is that the throttle, instead of having to go further with it and smooth, it's right at the top of the pedal in Swift. Very tight, good feeling steering wheel.
Yeah, that was the next thing. It feels like the new S-Plaid without the, I mean, I know this is full, you know how the S-Plaid has like halfway?
The yoke steering wheel.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, so I just noticed something. You see the way he moved, right? The seatbelt kind of tied me down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was doing that to me too as well.
Yeah, if you are like in the process of like either braking or slowing down, then seatbelts in most cars typically will like lock, just so if you get into an accident, you're in position. Yeah, those blind spot cameras, now that I've gotten used to using them, those are very, very helpful.
But the thing is, for me, I can't really see them because like the steering is almost in the way.
No, I think if you adjust the steering, I really didn't see it too, but I just thought in my mind, like if I adjust the steering.
where you're sitting, the steering wheel probably came up.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That makes it a little bit easier like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you can actually probably see it.
Yeah.
I feel like
And this has lane guidance, right? Because I can see like it's off.
It does, yep. So one's off right now, but you're exactly right. So that one, but yeah, right there. So really, a lot of those like safety settings, things like that, it's just a one toggle switch on and off. But yeah, that lane departure is ultimately, if you're on the line, then it can kind of correct you and bring you back into the center.
And what are these flaps for?
So this one's going to be for your like audio, so for media, so like previous track, next track, Alexa, volume, up, down, play, pause. And this is going to be for like the cruise control setting. I like the fact that they made it all just like one easy toggle switch to turn it on or off.
Drowsy driver. What does that mean?
Yeah, so the drowsy driving, the distracted driver, those essentially use the camera.
Oh,
So if you aren't paying attention, it'll tell you to pay attention to the road. If you're looking sleepy, it'll recommend like a coffee shop near you.
What?
Yeah.
It's a coffee shop?
Yeah, basically it's a rolling supercomputer. It knows more about you than
I'm
software
still getting
update.
used to the timing.
Yep, yeah.
Because now there's a space.
And then keep in mind that you're in the Swift right here, so it is it's not as strong of a braking.
Right.
I can show you, since we'll be kind of doing a little bit more stop and go here. So now you'll be back in smooth, so it's gonna be a little bit of a stronger of that braking.
So I know you guys are probably waiting for the sprint mode, but I'm really sorry guys, I didn't get to test it out. This is just a test drive and there really isn't much I can do with the sprint mode if I don't get to drive fast. Okay, what do you think compared to the Tesla we tested?
I would say steering wise, this was definitely better. But one thing I kind of missed is so I know for like when you're packed, you can watch like movies and stuff when you're charging. Can you do that? Can you do that with this as well?
So not with like natively on the vehicle. We don't have like a video watching app, but with like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, there's typically some options to do that one.
Since he mentioned watching videos through Apple CarPlay, I tried it out as soon as we got back to the Lucid studio, and that option wasn't available. I just thought I should point that out. The Lucid Air has a 360 camera and a rear view camera, which I think is very useful for hard parking situations and even seeing things around you, which is a very great safety feature. Some other features of the driving assist that I didn't get to try out is the lane departure protection and the automatic park in and out. The charging system of the Lucid Air Pure is very fast and can fill up to 200 miles of charge in 12 minutes, and at a full charge you can drive up to 410 miles. It can also be charged in most public charging locations and can adjust income voltage and boost voltage for the quickest possible charge. Now, the exterior design, not gonna lie, looks decent and futuristic, but I'll give it a 7 out of 10, not gonna lie. My most favorite part of the exterior design is this thin light animation, bro. Just look how cool it is. I don't know. This was actually the first thing I saw when I found out about this car. Like, there was a nighttime, I parked my car somewhere and I just looked to the left and I just saw a bright animating light, which was just crazy, and I was like, bro, I gotta check this car out. Overall, the Lucid Air Pure is a great car, but if I'm being honest, the price is just crazy. With the Pure being the base model, it starts at $82,000, which is about $40,000 more than the base model Tesla Model 3. I feel like most people will get a Tesla because you get a lot for what you pay for, but I guess this car is made for people who's got the money to spend. If you guys would like to test drive this car, you could visit a nearby Lucid studio in your area. All you need is an appointment and a driver's license, and they would be happy to show you their products. Link in the description down below. If you made it this far to the video, guys, you're the GOAT. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.